So I welcome all the dignified speakers to today's session, and I also welcome all the audience, and I request everyone to take advantage of today's session. And those who are basically interested for career in academics, I feel that today's session will definitely benefit them. And as far as now is concerned, now will be striving to arrange such kind of shows, such kind of sessions, so that we can reach to people who are actually trying to do something excellent in their career. So starting from science technology to academics to engineering to medicines to all aspects we are actually looking for. And then we hope that under this banner of Now HRDCL's Lakshya program, we will be catering to everyone. So with this, I again welcome everyone to this today's session, and I hope that today's session will be benefiting you in all aspects. Thank you very much. Signing off, Deepak Kumar.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak, with such a wonderful introduction of today's different speakers. So first, I would like to request Mr. Bhagirathi Behra Bhai. He is from JNV Ganjam, 1996 pass out, working as a block education officer in the block of Ganjam. So he will be speaking on career in school academics. So welcome, Mr. Bhagirathi Behra Bhai. Over to Bhagirathi Bhai.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Bhagirathi Bhai. Yes.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So आज संपूर्ण सेशन रे आपण माने देखिबे 1.5 घंटा 2 घंटा सेशन रे जे कैरियर इन एकेडमिक के आपण केमिति आगे किंतु मते जे सेशन रे दिया जाई छी केवल हम आपण माने को कहिबी जे विद्यालय सेक्टर स्कूल सेक्टर रे अर्थात नर्सरी टू अप टू +2 हाई स्कूल पर्यंत आपण केमिति शिक्षकता आज ए वृत्ति आज ए कैरियर आगे ही नहीं आपण माने जानि छंती जे जीवन अनुभव टू बड़ शिक्षक के ना किंतु आमर समाज जो शिक्षकता कि शिक्षक गोटे वृत्ति गढ़ाई आम जाना दरकार जे आम यही वृत्तिटा कहीं आम बाछि पार प्रथम मोर कथा है शिक्षकता वृत्ति हिसाब से कहीं बाछि यह एक वृत्ति कर्मक्षेत्र किंतु यही कर्मक्षेत्र में सेवा शब्दटी जना जाए आप कर्म भी करें सहित सेवा भी दे कहुई नोबल प्रोफेशन सहित यही कर्मक्षेत्र में शिक्षक हिसाब से आपंकर जॉब सैटिस्फैक्शन बहुत अधिक अच्छे अन्य जॉब तुलन आपंकर गोटे लंबा वेकेशन अच्छे जदि आप छुट्टी चाहते कौन कर्म क्षेत्र में ताहले शिक्षकता वृत्ति आपण बहुत बढ़िया रहिबो एवं आपणकर जदि कौन सब्जेक्ट इंटरेस्ट अच्छे एवं सही सब्जेक्ट सह आपण यंग माइंड सह पिलांक सह आपण बांटी पारिबे ताहले आपणक पई ए फील्ड बहुत बढ़िया जदि आपण गोटे सिक्योर कैरियर चाहते ताहले भी आपण बाछि पारि काहे कि सिक्योर कैरियर आमे ताहा को कहिबा जो कैरियर आपणकर अति अधिक मात्रा में अवेलेबल आपण जानी जे भारत नुह दुनिया प्रत्येक कोण रे गली कंदी आपण मानकर स्कूल आवश्यकता एवं से स्कूल थाए आर एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी रेट अधिक वर्तमान शिक्षकता क्षेत्र में भल दरमा एवं आपण सब बेले यंग माइंड मान खेली निजक यंग रखिपारे तेणु मु कंक्लूड करिया को चाहे जे जदि आपण ए कैरियर को चूज करछंती ताहले ଆପଣଙ୍କର ହାଇ ଜବ୍ ସାଟିସ୍ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ସନ୍ ଅଛି। ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମେ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଯିବା। ଆମେ ଜାଣିବା ଯେ ଆମେ ଯଦି କୌଣସି ସ୍କୁଲରେ ଚାକିରି କରିବାକୁ ଯାଉଛେ କି ଶିକ୍ଷକତା କରିବାକୁ ଯାଉଛେ ତାହେଲେ ଆମର ଡେଜିଗ୍ନେସନ୍ କ'ଣ ହବ, ସେଠି ଆମର ପୋଜିସନଟା କ'ଣ ହବ, ମାନେ ଆମେ କେଉଁ କେଉଁ ସ୍କୁଲରେ କେଉଁ ଲେବଲରେ କାମ କରିବୁ। ଯଦି ଆପଣ LKG ଆଉ UKG ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଡିଲ୍ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ବା ଟିଚ୍ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କୁହାଯିବ NTT, ତା ଅର୍ଥ ନର୍ସରୀ ଟ୍ରେନ୍ ଟିଚର୍ସ। ଆପଣ ନର୍ସରୀ ଟିଚର ଟ୍ରେନ୍ ଟିଚର ହିସାବରେ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ନେଇପାରିବେ ଏବଂ LKG ପିଲା ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ କିଣ୍ଡର ଗାର୍ଟନ କହିବା ଆପଣ ପଢ଼େଇ ପାରିବେ। ଯଦି ଆପଣ କ୍ଲାସ୍ 1 to 5 ପ୍ରାଇମେରୀ ସ୍କୁଲ ମାନଙ୍କରେ ପଢ଼େଇବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି, ବୃତ୍ତି କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ତାକୁ ପ୍ରାଇମେରୀ PRT କହିପାରିବା, ଯାହାର ଫୁଲ୍ ଫର୍ମ ହେଲା ପ୍ରାଇମେରୀ ରେଟେଡ୍ ଟିଚର। ଯଦି ଆପଣ କ୍ଲାସ୍ 1 to 8 ପଢ଼େଇବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ତାକୁ ଏଲିମେଣ୍ଟାରୀ ଟ୍ରେନ୍ ଟିଚର କହିପାରିବା ଏବଂ ଆପଣ 6 to 8 କିମ୍ବା 9 to 10 ଅର୍ଥାତ୍ ସେକେଣ୍ଡାରୀ ସେକ୍ସନରେ ଯଦି ଆପଣ ପଢ଼େଇବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ତାକୁ ଆମେ ଟ୍ରେନ୍ ଗ୍ରାଜୁଏଟ୍ ଟିଚର କହିପାରିବା, ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ PGT। ଯଦି ଆପଣ ହାୟର ସେକେଣ୍ଡାରୀ ସ୍କୁଲ ଅର୍ଥାତ୍ ଯେଉଁଥିରେ 11th କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଅଛି 12th କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଅଛି, ଯଦି ସେହିପରି 11th 12th ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ପଢ଼େଇବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ପୋଷ୍ଟ ଗ୍ରାଜୁଏଟ୍ ଟିଚର ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କୁ କୁହାଯିବ, ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ PGT। ତା ସହିତ ରେଗୁଲାର ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ଟିଚର ସହିତ କିଛି ଏମିତି ବି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ଅଛି ଯୋଉଥିରେ ଆପଣ ଟିଚିଂ କରିପାରିବେ। ଅର୍ଥାତ୍ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଫିଜିକାଲ ଏଜୁକେସନ ଟିଚର ଗୋଟେ ଫିଲ୍ଡ ଅଛି, ଆପଣଙ୍କ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ସ୍କୁଲରେ PT ଅଛନ୍ତି। ଯଦି ଆପଣ 1 to 10 ସ୍କୁଲରେ ପାଠ ପଢ଼ାଉଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ତାକୁ PGT କହିପାରିବେ, ଟ୍ରେନ୍ ଗ୍ରାଜୁଏଟ୍ ଟିଚର। ଯଦି ଆପଣ 11th and 12th ପଢ଼ାଉଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ତାକୁ ଆମେ କହିପାରିବା PGT। ତା ସହିତ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ, ଯଦି ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ଆମେ ଅଡିବୁଲ୍? ହ୍ୟାଲୋ, ଆଜ୍ଞା। ଯଦି ଆପଣ ଆଡମିନିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଟିଭ ପୋଷ୍ଟରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଯିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣମାନେ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ହେଡମାଷ୍ଟର ହେଇପାରିବେ, ଆପଣ ଭାଇସ୍ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ହେଇପାରିବେ ଏବଂ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ହେଇପାରିବେ। ତେଣୁ ଏଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଡେଜିଗ୍ନେସନ୍ ତାହାକୁ ଆପଣ କହିପାରିବେ ସ୍କୁଲ ଟିଚରର କ୍ୟାରିୟର ପ୍ରୋଫାଇଲ। ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଚାଲନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ଚିନ୍ତା କରିବା ଯେ ଆମେ ଏହି ସବୁ ଡେଜିଗ୍ନେସନରେ ପହଞ୍ଚିବାକୁ ହେଲେ, ଏହି ପୋଜିସନରେ କାମ କରିବାକୁ ହେଲେ ଆମକୁ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ କ୍ୱାଲିଫିକେସନ ଦରକାର ଏବଂ ଆମକୁ କେଉଁ ପ୍ରକାର ଏଣ୍ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସ ପାସ୍ କରିବାକୁ ହେବ। ମୁଁ ଯାହା ଏବେ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କୁ କହିବାକୁ ଯାଉଛି ତାହା ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ଏବଂ ସେଣ୍ଟର କେନ୍ଦ୍ର ସରକାରଙ୍କର ଶିକ୍ଷକତା ଉପରେ କହିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି। ଆପଣ 10th ଏବଂ 12th କରିଥିବେ କିମ୍ବା ଗ୍ରାଜୁଏସନ କରିଥିବେ, ତା ସହିତ ଯଦି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଡିପ୍ଲୋମା ଇନ୍ NTT ଅର୍ଥାତ୍ ନର୍ସରୀ ଟ୍ରେନ୍ ଟିଚର ଯଦି ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ନେଇଥିବେ ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣ ନର୍ସରୀ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ପଢ଼େଇ ପାରିବେ। ଯଦି ଆପଣ ପ୍ରାଇମେରୀ ଟିଚର ହେବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣ 12th କ୍ଲାସ୍ କରିଥିବେ, ପାସ୍ ହେଇଥିବେ କିମ୍ବା ଗ୍ରାଜୁଏସନ କରିଥିବେ, ତା ସହିତ ଆପଣ ସିଟି କି ଡିପ୍ଲୋମା ଇନ୍ ଏଲିମେଣ୍ଟାରୀ ଏଜୁକେସନ ଯାହା କହନ୍ତି DLED ୱିଥ୍ TET ଆପଣ ପାସ୍। TET ଅର୍ଥ ହେଉଛି ଟିଚର ଏଲିଜିବିଲିଟି ଟେଷ୍ଟ। ଏହା ଓଡ଼ିଶା ସରକାରଙ୍କର ମଧ୍ୟ ଅଛି, କେନ୍ଦ୍ର ସରକାରଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟ ଅଛି ଏବଂ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ରାଜ୍ୟରେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ TET କରାଯାଉଛି। ପ୍ରଥମେ ଆମେ ଜାଣିବା, ଧରାଯାଉ ଆମର ଓଡ଼ିଶା କଥା, ଯଦି ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ନିୟମ ହେଇଛି ଆପଣ ଯଦି ଚାକିରିରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ TET ପାସ୍ କରିନାହାନ୍ତି, ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ OTET କହିବା, ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଟିଚର ଏଲିଜିବିଲିଟି ଟେଷ୍ଟ, ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣ ପାସ୍ କରିକି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଅପଡେଟ୍ କରେଇବେ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ। ଯଦି ଆପଣ ଟିଚର ଟେଷ୍ଟ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି, ପାସ୍ କରିଛନ୍ତି, BEd କରିଛନ୍ତି କି ଶିକ୍ଷକତାରେ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ OTET ପାସ୍ ସାର୍ଟିଫିକେଟ। ଯଦି ଆପଣ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ଚାକିରି କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ OTET ପାସ୍। ଯଦି ଆପଣ କେନ୍ଦ୍ରରେ ଚାକିରି କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣ CTET ପାସ୍। CTET ମାନେ ସେଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଲ ଟିଚର ଏଲିଜିବିଲିଟି ଟେଷ୍ଟ। OTET ଆଉ CTET ସବୁଥିରେ 2 ପେପର ଆପଣ ଦେବେ। ଯଦି ଆପଣ क्लास ओडिसा रे ए माने प्रथम रु अष्टम विद्यालय रे पढ़िया पे पिला मन पढ़िया पे चाहउछंती
एटा हलो
ताल
माने
आपण ओटीटी रे
जरा
प्रथम
टीचर लेन
पेपर
जाति
पास
चाहे माने बुझते ना
समिति
की
यदि
करले
आपण
की
केंद्र
होय
रे 1 रु 5 पिला को पढ़िया पे चाहउछंती ताल पेपर 1 पास किंतु आपण जदि ट्रेन ग्रेजुएट टीचर हबा को चाहउछंती पीजीटी हबा को चाहउछंती ताल आपणकर ग्रेजुएशन हबा दरकार ग्रेजुएशन सहित आपणकर बीएड किंबा बीएलडी ईडी थिबा दरकार किंबा एमएड थिले बदे चली सेति आपण ओटीटी पास करिया पड़िबो ओडिशा पई ओटीटी पेपर 2 जहा पई आपण 9th एंड 10th पई पढ़ी परिबे एवं सीटीटी आपणकर पेपर 2 आपण 6th 8th पढ़ी परिबे अर्थात आपण को मन रखिया पड़िबो आपण को पाखरे नॉर्मल एजुकेशन अर्थ प्लस 2 ग्रेजुएशन पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन थिले भी आपण को बीएड हबा को पड़िबो सीटी हबा को पड़िबो त सहित जनरल एजुकेशन प्रोफेशनल एजुकेशन सहित आपण को पीटी पास करबा पड़िबो पर्टिकुलर स्टेट रो किंबा कैंपस पुणी आपण आसंतु आपण चाहूचंदी जे 11th 12th पिला को पढ़े सेठी आपण को पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन करबा को पड़िबो पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर एवं ता सहित आपण को बीएड करबा पड़िबो वर्तमान आसंतु आपण जदि फिजिकल एजुकेशन टीचर हबा चाहूचंदी ताहाले आपण सीपीएड करि परिबे जहा को कहंती सर्टिफिकेट इन फिजिकल एजुकेशन बैचलर इन फिजिकल एजुकेशन बीपीएड किंबा मास्टर इन फिजिकल एजुकेशन आपण परिबे ता सहित आपण जदि आर्ट एंड क्राफ्ट म्यूजिक एसयूपीडब्ल्यू क्लासिकल टीचर्स पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन सह आर्ट क्राफ्ट म्यूजिक एसयूपीडब्ल्यू क्लासिकल टीचर रो आपण प्रोफेशनल कोर्स करबा को पड़िबो ता सहित आम देश रे एवं बाहर राज्य रे स्पेशल चिल्ड्रन मानक पाई स्पेशल स्कूल अछि ताको हम दिव्यांग बोली तनो ताको अपन ब्लाइंड पिला को नियम मेंटल रिटार्डेड पिला को नियम डीफ एंड डम नियम तो तांको पाई स्पेशल स्कूल था सेति पाई मध्ये अपन को स्पेशल प्रोफेशनल कोर्स लाइक स्पेशल बीएड करबा को पड़िबो ता सहित आपण जदि एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव पोस्ट को जिबा को चाहउछंती आपण हेडमास्टर हबा को चाहउछंती वाइस प्रिंसिपल हबा को चाहउछंती कि प्रिंसिपल हबा को चाहउछंती ताहले आपण बीएड करथिबे एमएड करथिबे एवं आपण को टीचिंग रो 5 to 10 ईयर एक्सपीरियंस एवं 10 to 15 ईयर एक्सपीरियंस एज पर रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द स्कूल आपण को परिबो ता सहित यदि आपण आधिकारिक रूपे काम करिया को चाहउछंती जेमिति मो ब्लॉक एजुकेशन ऑफिसर अछि आपण ब्लॉक एजुकेशन ऑफिसर हेई परिबे डिस्ट्रिक्ट एजुकेशन ऑफिसर हेई परिबे एवं सीबीएसई रे हमर जेमिति स्टेट स्कूल अछि सीबीएसई स्कूल अछि आईसीएसई स्कूल अछि विभिन्न बोर्ड अछि तले सीबीएसई स्कूल रे मध्ये आपण रीजनल डायरेक्टर हेई परिबे ता पई यदि आपण ब्लॉक रे कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट ओडिसा रे ओएस हेबा को चाहउछंती कि ब्लॉक एजुकेशन ऑफिसर हेबा को चाहउछंती ताले आपण ओएस ओपीएससी द्वारा कंडक्ट एग्जाम ओएस पास करिवे एवं ता सहित बीएड एमएड दरकार एवं आपण जदि रीजनल डायरेक्टर की सीबीएसई रे कनेक्ट होबा चाहउछंती ताहले आपण एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव विथ एकेडमिक एक्सपीरियंस अर्थात प्रिंसिपल एवं सम एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एक्सपीरियंस आपण होबा को हबो एवं बीएड एमएड हबो तेणु स्कूल एजुकेशन आपण स्कूल माने रे जदि आपण आज शिक्षक चाकरी करिया को चाहउछंती ताहले आपण को ए सब क्वालिफिकेशन रिक्वायर्ड हो वर्तमान चलंतु आपण हमें देखिबा जे हमको ए सब चाकरी करबा को क्वालिफिकेशन तो हे गला किंतु हमको कोन कोन स्किल रिक्वायर हो हमें आ कोन एक्स्ट्रा स्किल हमको दरकार ताके हम दक्षता बोली कहि प्रथम कथा हला आपण को शिक्षक चाकरी जमिति आपण को बोझ बोली न लागू एवं शिक्षक चाकरी रे आनंद उठेबा प्रथम कंडीशन हला आपण छोट पिला अनकंडीशनली भल पाइबा यदि छोट पिला देखिले सहित खेलिले सहित कथा हेले यदि आपण आनंद लगुच सब आपण भाविया दरकार आपण शिक्षक वृत्ति सब बेस्ट सो अनकंडीशनल लव फॉर चिल्ड्रन आपण नेक्स्ट आपण पाखरे पिला को पढ़ेबा टीचिंग जो एटीट्यूड दरकार जो एप्टीट्यूड दरकार एप्टीट्यूड माने सब्जेक्ट नॉलेज आपण को दरकार ता मध्ये थिले आपण टीचर होगा पे जीविका हासिल कर पाए ता सहित जो टीचिंग आपण पढ़ेबे आपण हिस्ट्री पढ़ंतु ज्योग्राफी पढ़ंतु कि मैथ पढ़ंतु से सब्जेक्ट आपन पाखे डेप्थ अंडरस्टैंडिंग नॉलेज थिबा दरकार ता सहित आपन जानि छंती आपन जेंतु छोट पिलांग सह आपन कथावार्ता हेबे ताले आपन पाखे गोटे गुड कम्युनिकेशन स्किल माने आपन पाखे कौन सी लैंग्वेज आपन जे स्टेट रे काम करिवे से स्टेट रो लैंग्वेज रो बेसिक दक्षता आपन पाखे थिबार अछि ओडिया हो इंग्लिश हो हिंदी हो तेलुगु हो तो लैंग्वेज रो दक्षता एवं कम्युनिकेशन करि परिवार दक्षता थिबार अछि ता सहित आपन पाखे जे छोट पिलांग आपन डील तेणु तांको बुझिला बोल तांको लेवल रे पहुंचला बोल आपन पाखे पेशेंस थिबा दरकार धैर्य ता सहित आपन पाखे क्रिएटिव एंड क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग गोटे स्किल की एबिलिटी क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग और क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग रो अर्थ होला कौन से गोटे प्रॉब्लम पड़िले ताको केमेति आपन सॉल्व करिवे अनेक आपन चाकरी जीवन रे पिलांक सहित चाकरी करिवे पिलांक पाठ पढ़ेइबे शिक्षा दान देबे सेतबेले बहुत समस्या एमिति आसे जाको आपन करिवे एवं क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग रे कौन से काम विभिन्न उपाय करिवे पाबे क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग ता सहित आपन पाखे सबुठ बड़ कथा गोटे लीडरशिप स्किल ता कारण आपन टीचर नुहंती आपन पिला मान लीडर पिला माने आपन को फॉलो कर तो से भीतर लीडरशिप स्किल दा इट मींस अपार्ट फ्रॉम एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन प्रोफेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन दीज आर स्किल्स आपन को दरकार तो भलो शिक्षित हेबा हेले आपन को पाखरे क्वालिफिकेशन पळे आसला आपन जानि परले जे मु को क्वालिफिकेशन रे चाकरी करिबे को स्किल रे आगु को बढ़िबे केउ केउ पोजीशन रे काम किंतु एबे आमे जानिबा दरकार हमको चाकरी किए द अर्थात केउ केउ सेक्टर हमको से माने हमर जॉब प्रोवाइड तर मु एठी आपन को चाकरी क्षेत्र को दुई भाग रे कहि दोछि गोटे होछि गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर गोटे होछि प्राइवेट गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर रे आपनकर विभिन्न स्टेट स्कूल्स अछि आपनकर केंद्रीय विद्यालय अछि आपनकर पाखरे नवोदय विद्यालय अछि जेएन भी आपनकर पाखरे ओडिशा आदर्श विद्यालय अछि ओए भी आपनकर पाखरे सैनिक स्कूल्स अछि आपनकर पाखरे रेसिडेंशियल स्कूल अछि अर्थात जेमि कस्तूरबा बालिका विद्यालय ट्राइबल स्कूल्स आपनकर पाखरे अछि आपनकर पाखरे जेमि आपनकर पाखरे नालको एनटीपीसी पाखरे पीएसयू सब जो अछि तांकर भी विभिन्न स्कूल अछि एतरे भी आपण काम करि परिबे आपण आर्मी स्कूल रे मध्ये काम करि परिबे आपण टिबेटियन स्कूल रे मध्ये काम करि परिबे एगुडा को गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर जो माने आपण को एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी देबे यदि प्राइवेट सेक्टर करिवे ता नो लिमिट आपण विभिन्न डे स्कूल रे काम करि परिबे डे बोर्डिंग स्कूल रे काम करि परिबे रेसिडेंशियल स्कूल रे काम करि डे स्कूल माने आपण 4 टा 10 डे बोर्डिंग माने आपण सकाळ 8 ରୁ संध्या 6 रेसिडेंशियल स्कूल माने कंटिन्यू हम नवोदय विद्यालय टीचर मानकर कर्म भूमि देखिथिबे संपूर्ण रेसिडेंशियल स्कूल ता सहित आपण विभिन्न प्रकार इंटरनेशनल स्कूल रे मध्ये आपण काम करि एवं इंटरनेशनल स्कूल रे काम करिया पई हले आपण किछि इंटरनेशनल लेवल रो सर्टिफिकेट एक्वायर करिया को पड़िबो ता सहित स्पेशल एजुकेशन जाम पइले आपण विभिन्न एनजीओ रे मध्ये जे स्कूल चालुची सही स्कूल मानकर मध्ये काम कर अर्थात मु कहबा को चाहूची आपण देखंतु जदि आमे कहबा रेलवे सबुट अधिक एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी एवं रेलवे बाद यदि कौन से सेक्टर सबुट अधिक एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी क्रिएट करे से होची आपनकर टीचिंग तेणु मोर आशा जो मैंने शिक्षक होगा चाहूँगी एवं स्कूल क्षेत्र में शिक्षक होगा चाहूँगी मु सेमानकु सठिक वार्ता देइछि एवं पर मुहूर्त जदि सेमानकर कौन डाउट थाए ताहले आमे ईमेल रे जानि परिबा कथा हेकि जानि परिबा मु पुणी थरे नाओ अलुमिनाई सुनुथिबा देखुथिबा छात्रगण जो मैंने शिक्षक वृत्ति आपणाइबा चाहूँगी नवोदय प्रिंसिपल्स ऑल ऑर्गेनाइजर्स मो तरफ समस्त को धन्यवाद थैंक यू
Thank you, Thank you, Bhagirathi Bhai, for such wonderful information. What's a teacher basically required, starting from teacher skill, attitude, aptitude, and all the skills you have explained very nicely, and including that modern technology, what we require with computer knowledge also. Even that you discuss about different job sectors in teaching. So with this, I'd like to thank you very much, Bhagirathi Bhai, for your such nice information, and in future also we'll carry over it. So with this, I'd like to request Dr. Prashant Kumar Behera. He is from JNV Cuttack, 2006 pass out. Presently, he is working as an assistant professor of economics and head of the department of business management at Central University of Odisha, Koraput. Mr. Prashant will speak on career in academics, and he will specifically and focus on humanities. So welcome, Mr. Prashant, for his talk. Handed over to Prashant.
পঞ্চায়েত অফিসার দিয়েছে পঞ্চায়েত অফিসার ব্লক ইনচার্জ বিএলডব্লিউ ব্লক ডিএলসি
Thank you, Sanjay Bhai. Good evening to everyone. Esteemed speakers of this webinar, respected teachers, principals of various Navodaya schools, my dears, so I will say my dear juniors, elder brothers and sisters, and alumni of the Navodaya Vidyalayas. It's a great opportunity to speak on this platform. Today, I will speak on the topic academic career in arts, humanities, and social science subjects. So, I will start that during the school time, the most confusing part is the around end of the 10th, right, matriculations. So we are in a dilemma that what kind of degree or what kind of career we'll choose, and which subject, which stream we'll choose. So basically, we need that during that time we need counseling, guidance from teachers, parents. So many people speak on many things, advises us and guide us, but it is up to us. We know our capabilities, our potential. So I will say one thing, that every subject has its own significance. No subject is inferior or superior. It depends on you, how you will excel yourself. If you want to do your career in arts, normally in Navodaya Vidyalaya it is called as the humanities. So in social science subjects, we have many subjects, right? In like economics, psychology, geography, history, political science, library science, anthropology, sociology, philosophy, education, rural development, development studies, home science, public administration, public policy, population studies, social work. So in all these subjects, you can do your bachelor degree. You can also, if you want to go further in academics, you can also do your master's and PhD program also, right? Similarly, in language subjects, you have options of English, Odia, Hindi, Sanskrit, Urdu, and many other foreign languages like German, French, Arabic, and other foreign languages. So yeah, you can also do your career in these language subjects. Other than that, you have some teacher education subjects, like you can do after graduation, you can do B.Ed. If you are to be a school teacher, like Bhagirathi Bhai already said, that to a TGT, PGT, you need to have B.Ed, right? So if you want to, if you want to be a lecturer and you want to teach the B.Ed students and M.Ed students, you need to do M.Ed. After that, you can also do your PhD in education, right? And in new education policy, as you know, the new education policy 2020 as for this policy, now there is a changes in the B.Ed structure. Now they're uh, they're encouraging for integrated B.Ed program, like BA, B.Ed, BSc, B.Ed. Like you are for becoming a doctor and becoming an engineer, you need to do 4 years BTech and 4 years MBBS. Similarly, to become a teacher, now you need to do 4 years of BA, B.Ed or BSc, B.Ed, right? Now it's an integrated program. So after plus two, you can directly go for a integrated program. Along with BA, you will get the BA degree. Along with the BSc, you can also get the BA degree. And after the completion, you can apply for the teaching post, school teaching post like TGT. And if you want to join as a PGT, you can also do PG after the integrated program. And similarly, if you want to do a higher teach lectureship job in the education sector, you can also go for integrated B.Ed MA. That is normally done after the post graduation level, right? So here you will find in every subject there is a career. Not only that you will be like in economics. If you are doing PG or graduation and PG in economics, you can have very vast scope, like not only teachership or lectureship, you can also go for economic sports in various organizations, ministries like banks, insurance sectors, right, and different companies and corporate sector. Similarly, in psychology also, you can become a by studying the applied psychology, you can also become a psychiatrist, right? So similarly, on other subject like library science, you can be a librarian. So all these subjects, not only you will get the platform of in academics, other than that, you will also get similarly, in the same simultaneously, you will also get the scope of doing other jobs which are also quite professional, and you will provide you the better salary, right? This is the next we'll discuss about the where to study, right? If you have already when you have decided your subject, now you have many universities and colleges for you to enroll yourself. And there are more than 50 central universities. Central universities are run by the central governments. More than 50 central universities there. And for joining this in central university, you need to appear a common entrance test, right? I will discuss in the next slide. Similarly, we have you can have other higher educational institutions like IIT, NIT, IIM, Triple IT, NISER. So don't be there is a myth that these IIT, IIM, NITs, NISER, they only offer the science degrees. That's wrong. That's is a myth, right? And generally, in general, people think that it is all exclusively for the science degrees. No, not like that. And at the time is changing. We are in the 21st century. These all these institutions, they're moving towards the multidisciplinary approach, right? And you can also go for enroll for PhD, right? Especially for the research programs for PhD, you can apply these institutions, right? Like PhD in economics, philosophy, psychology, right? Then anthropology, sociology. There are many other subjects which are offered by these specialized money, these technical institutions, and they are also giving you a good fellowship, a good scholarship that you can continue for continuing the program. Similarly, to do the B.Ed, you have B.Ed colleges all over Odisha. Your other universities, state university like Utkal University, Fakirmohan universities, your Central University of Odisha, and other some Sambalpur University or other universities are also offering B.Ed deep programs. Similarly, your RI, Regional Institute of Education, there are 5 RIs in all over India. You can also enroll yourself there. Similarly, you can also do your higher education in art subject in state universities. You have Prevensa University, Utkal University, then you have North Odisha University. There are 9 to 10 state universities also there. And if you are in a job, nobody is also making you any obstacles to continue study. If you have interest in study, you can also acquire your arts degrees, humanities degree from open universities like IGNU, Odisha State Open Universities, and other open universities. And along with your job, you can also enroll for your graduation, post graduation. And these, I must clear you that these degrees are quite equivalent to regular programs. Don't be confused that if you are doing a distance education, it is not equally it don't carry equal weightage. It carries equal weightage, and it can
ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರಾ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಹಾಲಿಪ ಹಾಂ ಹಾಂ ಅಷ್ಟು ರೆಡ್ಮಿ ಇಲ್ಲ.
I hope Prasad had some technical problem.
Unmute.
Sorry for the technical defects. Actually, there was no network problem. So I was talking that this distance programs also carries equal weightage, and you can with these degrees you can apply for all kinds of jobs, and you can also apply for PhD. So it is open and it is also equally have equal weightage with the regular programs. Similarly, there are also some specialized institutions like NEPA, like National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration, Tata Institute of Social Science, English and Foreign Language University, Indian Institute of Population Studies, like Indian Economic Institute of Economic Growth, Institute of Public Finance. There are many specialized institutions. These are also offering higher educational degrees to arts subjects, like TC specialized in social work and social science subjects. IFLU is offering foreign languages like English and other French, Italian, and other Arabic, other Urdu and other languages subjects. And you can also do your PhD and diploma degrees in Indian Institute of Population Studies on population studies. And NIPA is offering a PhD in educational planning and administrations. Right? You can also enroll yourself in other private institutions. Nowadays, these private universities are performing better. They are also getting higher ranks like Amity University, lovely professional universities, Amrita Vidyapeetham, like there are SRM University. There are many kid universities. They're performing better, and you can also, if you have good financial support, you can go for these private universities, and their also quality is not bad. Even some state universities are rather struggling, and you can also opt for these institutions. Next, we'll discuss on the next slide, right? How to crack these how to enroll yourself, or how to crack these examinations and get yourself admitted in the institutions. Like you have for getting admission in central universities, you need to appear a central university common entrance test. So in the next year, the National Testing Agency going to conduct a single entrance examination for all the central universities all over India. And similarly, the in Odisha also, for all higher educational institutions for post graduation, they are also conducting a common entrance test. And for B.Ed admissions, they are also conducting for the state B.Ed colleges. The Odisha government is also conducting a common entrance for GATE. And another thing is GATE. GATE is now also, there is also a myth that recently the GATE has included art subjects like economics, philosophy, and PhD program in art subjects. They have for getting admission in the PhD program in IIT, you need to crack the GATE examinations, right? It is not only for the science subject or engineering subject. It is also the art subject are also been included in the GATE examinations. You can also appear that one. And all other universities and institutions, they are also conducting their own entrance examination for their admission. And there is an examination called UGC NET that is very essential and very important in academic career. And if you want to do lectureship, and if you want to also do PhD, it's a quite important that you should have an UGC NET. Like, and there is a, for science subject, they have the CSR UGC NET, and for the all other subjects, UGC is conducting the NET examination, national eligibility test. And for the higher ranks, they are also providing junior research fellowship, right? You will, if you are clearing these examinations for getting admission into PhD, will be quite easier. And through this UGC NET, you can also apply for lectureship and assistant professor post in various colleges and universities, right? And for, if you are also qualifying this JRF examination, and you'll be getting fellowship for your PhD degree, and it will be around 35,000, 32,000 per month. And for the SRF, they are providing 35,000 per month. So it's a kind of salary. So during your PhD degree, during your research degree, you will be getting the fellowship, a good amount of fellowship, and you can also do your PhD, which will be very, it is a support from the governments. There are other fellowship also there. Other fellowships are also provided by the governments. The state government is also providing PhD fellowship. Your Indian Council of Social Science Research is also providing fellowship for PhD. UGC also providing fellowship for like UG rank, for the UG rank holder, for the single child, right? So these institutions, I just want to inform you that if you have a financial problem and if you don't want to study further, there is a, don't be afraid, don't be scared. There are organizations, there are government organizations, there are government institutions which will assist you in studies. Like through, by cracking all these fellowship, you can also support your educations. For if you want to study abroad, there is an examination called graduate record examinations. So like there are other examinations. Our fellow colleagues and speakers will speak more about it. And you can crack this. You have to, if you want to study abroad, like in America, Canada, and other European countries, you have to crack these GRE examinations, and you can enroll for PhD in foreign university, right? Okay. In the next slide, we'll discuss. Okay, please move to the next slide. How to get these academic jobs. And already the Bhagirathi Bhai said that it's a noble job, it's a very prestigious job, and I am also in academics. So so I have also good experience in this job. So if you compare between not teaching and teaching job is, I will say that it is in a better position, because if you, not only it will give you better salary and prestige, it also will help you in maintaining a good family life. Also, you will get good vacations, right? And uh, in teaching jobs, you have schools, you have colleges, you have universities, right? And if you want to be in school jobs, you can have the option of TGT, PGT, PIT, all those. So you have options like you can job after qualifying the B.Ed, after completing the B.Ed after graduation and qualifying the necessary examinations like CTT, OTT, OSTET. You can and can get join in various positions in Kendra Vidyalaya, others Vidyalaya, then government schools, private schools, there are Navodaya Vidyalays. So all these I have already discussed, so I don't have to speak more on it. Next, for lectureship, I have already mentioned that there are different kind of lectureship, like block colleges, there are block level colleges, like SSB is conducting those lectureship examinations. For that, in order to have UGC net, but they are giving weightage those who have UGC net and PhD. But after post graduation also, you can apply for lectureship job, like, and for becoming an assistant professor, you need to have UGC NET and PhD. Other than that, you should have some publication, teaching, and research experience. And you can apply for degree colleges and universities, state government universities, central government universities, IITs, NITs. So based on your qualification, you can join all these institutions. They are recruiting. There are all the central universities, IIT, NITs. They are recruiting independently, where the OPSC recruiting for the all the state university and colleges. SSB also recruiting. So you don't think that you have scope, job scope in only within Odisha. You have job scope all over India. You can be a lecturer, you can be an assistant professor in anywhere in any IIT, any NIT, any central university all over India, across India. So you have vast scope in academic career, and I have already mentioned the salary, the scale is quite good. I am also working, so I am already when I experience the things. So even sometimes my from my friends are asking, how you have got this good positions, are we, even we are engineers, are we are struggling, right? So if you, because there are many wrong informations in about academic jobs, people think that you have to keep patience for a long time, and even you need to be in a contractual job for a for a longer durations. Nothing like that. If you are good qualified and you have a better talent, you can crack it very on a very younger age also, right? So your salary scale will be better. You will have get your, for an assistant professor, I should inform you, assistant professor draw a salary quite equal to the and the civil servant. Though there for civil servant there are many other facilities, but the scale is quite similar, right? And I think being a noble job, you will be get social recognitions, respect from the society, right? And there is career growth is also very good in the academics. And if you are joining as an assistant professor, don't think that you will complete it as a same positions. There are many scope for you, right? You will move to the senior assistant professor, then to the associate professor, then professor. You can also move to the administrative jobs like registrar, control of examination, finance officer. You can become a vice chancellor, director of an institution also. So there is always a growth path and a growth scope to you. And the vice chancellor, I must tell you, the vice chancellor of a central university or state university draw a salary equivalent to a joint secretary of a government, right? So the highest salary that the joint secretary program, the in the seventh pay, in the pay scale, the highest positions of any government employee is drawing the same salary is drawn by the vice chancellor. Okay, so you have a very tough career growth in the academic also. So don't be, and if you have interest in teaching, if you want to be a teacher, then definitely you choose the academic jobs. And academic is quite better, I feel that, because the work pressures will be quite the, in terms of work pressure, in terms of social prestige, in terms of salary, in terms of vacations, and and teaching is something every day you will learn, every day will you will acquire something new. And though you are getting money along with your salary, you will develop yourself, isn't it? So I must, other than the academic, just I just want to inform you, like this IAS and OAS, you know that Indian Administrative Service or Odisha Administrative Service, though many people, so you will verify every year some around 100 of people qualify the Indian Administrative Service. But if you cross check it, most of the students opt for arts subject in their examination, IAS examinations, because though they are from engineering background or science background, they used to opt for the arts subject like public administration, political science, sociology, or like geography. So because it is quite confident for them to secure better marks, right? And if you want to be IS and if you want to be OS, then why not you will study, you will opt for art subject or you will art stream in the earliest stage, right? And in another civil service examination also there, Indian Economic Service, and though it can be also be attended by the statistics students, but the economic students, for the economic students, for postgraduate economic students, it is quite relevant for them because the syllabus, the curriculum is based very quite the service, the examinations curriculum is based on the post graduation syllabus of the economics. So if you want, if I want to be an IES or ISOS, I will advise you go for art subjects and go for art stream after +2. There are also research-based jobs. Not in academics, not only teaching, you have research-based jobs. You can be a research assistant, research associate, research professors. There is also in planning board of various ministries and like your central statistical organizations, then in census office, then your statistics and planning departments in both state and central governments, and in some private organizations they're also recruiting many peoples on based on their PhD and then publications. They engaging themselves in research activities and project work. They're also drawing a good salary, right? So you have a huge many varieties of scope. You have a vast scope in art stream also. And at the end, I just want to experience that the Asaban Vayu has already said me that you should share your experience with the students. So I did my +2 from +2 humanities from JNB Cuttack, and I was when I, but I don't know, I have not done my +2 arts from the beginning, but after matriculation I have opted for +2 science. But after 1 month I shifted myself to the +2 humanities. So there was a story. So there was also I did not get sufficient financial support from my family, and when I shifted to the art subject, so there was a lots of you can understand there was a inferiority complex. So for me, but many people are commenting that this student is not good. That why he has shifted to the arts many subjects and art stream. So it was a very difficult period for me. But later on, during my +2, one teacher was there, Mamta Mai Chaudhary, madam. She encouraged us a lot, and I must remember, I should remember her, and I should, I am always grateful to her. And after +2, I realized that arts is very, it is in any area, कि कौन सी भी angle रे, जो मैं कही बताऊँ मैं किसी भी कम नहीं. And many times my friends, my even from my juniors, seniors, we discuss, they think that you have taken the right decision. And being I'm already university level achi, so my salary, my career options, scopes, I am, from my experience, I am saying that it is one of the what I have taken, decision I have taken during my +2. I have not taken a wrong decision because I have never regretted that I have not done science, or I have not done BSc, MSc, or I have not studied engineering or medicals. But I am quite happy that whatever I am doing, my family is in a better positions. I can, I have a better balanced life. I have a better salary. I have a better career options. So everything is quite convenient for me now. So it is not that science is the only important subject or engineering and medical are the only options for you. So you can choose any subject, whatever you like, and if you are dedicated, if you are determined, you can excel like anything. So best wishes to all the students, all my juniors, brothers and sisters. And it's a thank you to everyone for giving this opportunity. I should not take much time. There are many other speakers who have already late. So we'll meet in the future also. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prasant, for such nice information. You have shared your journey starting from Navodaya to have a job in future career also. So, you know, our younger brothers, so you have increased their moral booster. So, you know, they are also, I know we can say that the talented students who
যে
pass
বোঝার লোক
from
না
fifth
তুমি
standard
বুঝাবার
also
বলবে
with a competitive
হয়
examination.
না
So I hope my
সত্যি থাকে
dear brothers, sisters, those who are in standard 10th, 11th,
আমি
12th,
করছি
so
তুমি
they
এদের না
definitely
আর তোর লোকের
they will
সঙ্গে
be inspired by
যে বোঝার লোক
Mr.
বলবে
Prasant. And with this, I would like to thank you, Mr. Prasant, for
চাপের জন্য
such a
করবে
nice
ওরা সে
information,
ভাবে
in-depth
Thank you
knowledge.
very
যে
much.
বোঝার লোক বলবে
So with this,
যে বুঝবে না
I would like to request
2 টাকা তুই দে
Mrs.
আর
Sarita Rath Opa.
তো বুঝাই কইছি
She is
বলতে
from
কিনা
Jain Vidhankanal, 1994 pass out. So, and presently she is a lecturer in Department of MBA, Government College Anugod. So she will more focus on career in commerce. So over to you, Sarita Appa.
শুরু করে এটা
Hello.
Yes, please
না
continue.
না 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 না
Hello.
Yes, yes, Appa. Please continue.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My principals, my teachers of Genways, and whoever were elder to me, namaskar to them, and love to my juniors, whether they may be alumni or continuing students. Okay. So Bhagirathi told regarding the academic careers in different sections, and Prasad in art section. But I will tell in career in academics in commerce only. Okay, when I said my father after completing plus 2 science in Jain V. Denkanal, Ringali, when I told my father I want to take commerce, so one of the member from Naao college came to my home. He told, generally students take arts. Arts ru basi hele, sorry, BA. Generally students take BA. BA ru basi hele, BSc, BA ru kam hele BCom. So ସେମାନେ କହିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲେ ଯେ ଯଦି ଜେନେରାଲ ପିପଲ ମାନେ ଆର୍ଟ୍ସ ନେବେ ଯୋଉମାନେ ବିଏ ରୁ ଅଧିକା ସେମାନେ ସାଇନ୍ସ ପଢିବେ ଯୋଉମାନେ ବିଏ ରୁ କମ୍ ମାନେ କମ୍ କ୍ୟାରିୟର ସେମାନେ ନେବେ ବିକମ୍. So whatever it may be, ଯେତେବେଳେ ବି ମତେ ଚାନ୍ସ ମିଳିଲା I took commerce. Commerce is a very interesting subject, and okay, start my video. My picture may not come properly. So okay, am I audible?
Mama.
Hello.
Yes, please. Yes.
May I continue?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So as Bhagirathi said that teaching is a noble profession. So to be a good teacher, good communication skill is required, and your voice should be very clear, your pronunciation should be very clear, so that students can take it very clearly, they can understand easily. So concept regarding your subject and depth of knowledge must be clear. Teaching should be the passion of the teacher first. It is the first thing. Teaching should be the passion of the teacher. So as we all know, after plus 2 only we can take commerce as a stream. So commerce stream starts only after plus 2. Sorry, 10th. So a teacher can teach commerce from class 11th or 12th only. So 11th and 12th, both. Before that, we don't take commerce as our subject. So for which BEd and MEd, BEd and MEd qualification is mandatory. So to do BEd, one master secured more than 55% in graduation. To teach accounting, one must have done accounting honors in BCom. And to take accounting honors, one must have done mathematics as the compulsory subject in plus 2. Okay. So, economics is a prime subject in commerce. So, those who have done masters in economics can teach in commerce students, can teach commerce students also. Okay. MED qualified teachers generally preferred for the post of principals and vice principal, etc. So, masters in commerce and UGC NET qualified. Regarding this, Bhagirathi and what is that? Prasant have told all how to qualify UGC NET and what are the master degrees. So, master degree in commerce and UGC NET qualified can be appointed as the lecturers and associate professors in colleges. So, PhD in commerce subject also helpful in career growth in academic line. So, it is depend upon the teacher what you want to do. So, interested faculty members having doctorate, MPhil degree in relevant subject like CA, CS, ICWA with at least 5 years of teaching experience at colleges or university levels may apply to teach CA and CS students. So, those who have done masters in business administration also, that is MBA. So, having specialization in finance, HR, marketing, and different sections are there. So, also eligible to be the faculty in MBA department and BBA. They can teach also BBA students. So, okay. So, how to do after BCom and graduation? So, BEd to do BEd, it is mandatory to have 55% in graduation. So, MED, okay, MED will be helpful for how it is helpful for arts and science stream. Equivalently, it is helpful for BCom students also. So, what I told, UGC NET is mandatory to be a lecturer and to teach MCom and MBA students, PhD and what the education government has declared to do PhD for the faculties and commerce students can teach the school students also if they have done basic training certificate, that is BTC, that and diploma in education, they can teach school students. CTET, Central Teacher Eligibility Test, generally conducted by the CBSE for the appointment as a teacher for class 1 to 8. Okay, these are the eligibilities of a commerce teacher to be in academic line. Okay, so what are the opportunities that if you are making your career in commerce, so what are the opportunities for you? First, you can be a teacher in schools, lecturer in college, guest faculty in different colleges. So it is a very demanding position. Guest faculties are required by different colleges, universities. They just take class for 1 hour and as per it, they are paid. So you can open your own coaching center, you can be a tutor and you can be a trainer. So I was a pre-placement trainer in ITR college, engineering colleges, MBA colleges to teach reasoning and aptitude. So they generally prepare the MBA students and MCS students to train the pre-placement for the pre-placement classes. Okay, so to be a professor also, the commerce students can be professors, motivators. So many renowned in many renowned colleges, they they invite most of the motivators. They are from commerce background. So where you can apply, generally schools in 11th class and 12th class, they appoint commerce teachers. Like Central School, Navodaya Vidyalaya, like Sarangre अछि ना Sarangre मझे कर सर भी कहिथिले आसिके पढिया पई किंतु it is very far from my home, so I didn't join. So ICSE school, international board schools, international sports school, then technical universities also, which are approved by AICTE, and defense schools also. Defense school like Army school, Navy school, these schools also appoint commerce teachers to teach the students of 11th and 12th. Okay. Then many private schools and colleges are there. So like Sai International Commerce School are very famous. Okay. So Sriram College of Commerce. So you can apply anywhere as per your eligibility. Your max secured, whatever you have secured in colleges and schools, that will be counted in career matching. Okay. So main thing is experience. Experience and practice makes a man perfect. So if you are practicing and teaching for many years, you will be a very good teacher. So it's all about as it is already time, and only I squeezed my talk. So commerce. તમે જે કોમર્સરે କରିବାକୁ ચાહુଛ career, so these are the various like arts and science also you can make your career in commerce also. So thank you Naao, and thank you the coordinators of Naao for giving me this opportunity. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sarita Appa, for such nice information, and also you have explained very nicely how different career options with a commerce background and how to choose the subject, all the things. So with this, I'd like to thank you once again for your such a wonderful talk. And now I'd like to move on. So the next speaker is myself. So myself, Dr. Sanjay Kumar Rao. And I will speak and more focus to my younger brothers and sisters, those who are presently in school level, maybe in the 9th class, 10th class, 11th, 12th class. So my target audience is today there. And everybody now already have spoke out a lot of career options with school level in arts, that is humanities, and also commerce. Now the ball is with you all, my dear students. So how will choose what is your interest and what you need to do in your career. So, but I want to give one simple example before moving on to my slides, that today, and I do remember that whenever I was doing my research, even whenever I used to do my work, I used to use a mask, this mask, and nowadays everybody is acquainted with this mask. And everybody, if you go to ask just any persons, even a farmer, if he does not know any science work, no arts, anything, he will say, okay, I have done my RT-PCR for this certificate and taken the second dose of the vaccines. So with this, I'd like to move on. Can you please go to the next slide? Yes. So before going to talk about different career options in science, so first I'd like to start my journey where I was. So I originally belongs to Baliapur, districts of the Baleswar. Then I entered Jain Vibhagudi Baleswar. So this was the picture I got from Facebook. So somehow, so here we have passed 12th class. After that, I joined in botany honors and completed my graduation from Fakir Maha University. So after that, I went to Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology. So where I have finished my master in microbiology. So yes, after that, it was a very tough challenge for me to have a job. So, and for that, I joined in IMT, that Bhubaneswar Institute of Minerals and Metal Technology. That after that, I worked 7 years in industry. So why I'm telling all the things, because I remember the things whenever I was a student, And whenever I was, reading at Jen V. Baguri, no one was telling us what to do, what is next, all the things. So I think it's a great opportunity for my dear students. So those who are attending this session, this technical session, so they will happy to know that even after working 7 years in an industry, I jumped for to continue a PhD degree. So for that, I successfully get National Overseas Scholarship from Government of India. Then after that, I jumped to Germany, where initially I joined as a project a PhD students in University of Hamburg. So after that, also again I jumped to Göttingen University, where I completed my PhD in 2016. Yes. So after that, then I moved to Indian Institute of Science and back to India for a postdoc in the Department of Biochemistry in Indian Institute of Science, and I worked a couple of years over there. And after that, presently I am here at Ramadevi Women's University as an assistant professor in the Department of Biotechnology. So this is a little bit about myself. So, so therefore I was telling you all why and what need to do in science and what exactly there are career options in science when you finish your 12th standard from JNV or from non-JNV or from any other schools. Please next slide. Okay, so whenever a student want to choose different career options, so he can choose whatever he want to do based upon his interest. So there are a lot of options are there. So he can do BSc in physics, BSc in mathematics, in chemistry, in zoology, in botany. Even I don't want to discuss all. Even in biotechnology, where I am a teacher. So even they can go to nursing or even BDS on physics, chemistry, and also in biotechnology. Even there are other fields are there. But now the question is that okay, so I finished my BSc, and now what is next? What I need to do? Okay, so for that, after the BSc, you can go for the entrance. So there are a lot of competitive entrances are there. So that I will discuss in the next slide. So if you successfully clarify a good entrance, basically, so you can do your master. Okay. If you don't want to do master also, simply you can jump to the company also. Even different industries are also they used to take you as a beginner. Or even if you don't want to continue your study, you can be an entrepreneur also. Okay. So after that, if you are continuing your master degree, so in any field, maybe physics, chemistry, or botany, or biotechnology, so you can also again be an entrepreneur, or even if you want to continue your academic career, so you can qualify a lot of competitive PhD entrance examinations. Specifically, you have to it is mandatory nowadays also. You have to clarify also CSR, UGC net. I think that already discussed previously. So after PhD, you can be a teacher. So in the beginning, as an assistant professor in any of the university or even in the college also. So even that also, even after BSc also, you can choose for NISOR or ISOR as integrated, because they are also providing integrated master or integrated PhD degree also. Okay. So with next, can you please come to the next slide? Yes. So basically I was talking, what are the different then competitive examinations are here. So that you need to continue your MSc degree. So yes, obviously nowadays government of Odisha is that through CPET entrance examination, you can switch over to any of the, your PG subject in across Odisha. But if you want to have your own fellowship, because, whenever I was a student, I was thinking, financial problem is a major issue to, continuing my academic career. But it's not really like that. Already, people have already discussed on that. If you really interested to continue your academic career, you can go through IIT JAM entrance examination. So it's a very prestigious entrance examination that is conducted by the Indian Institute of Technology. Okay, so this is joint entrance admission test for continue your MSc. If you qualify, you can have your own fellowship also, so that you can continue with that integrated or even PhD over there. Even you can qualify the just entrance examination. Besides that also, you can also continue. There are other exam, for example, this GAT B. So GAT B is specifically for the, that's a biotech entrance examination. So if you even you qualify the GAT B entrance examination, so you will also get the fellowship. So if you have the fellowship, so that at least there will be no financial burden to you, and you can have your master degree. After that, again, you can jump further and further. Okay, even there is, yes, even in graduation also you can also, that is, I think it is common to all that scientific field, if all the botany, zoology, all this, even it is in engineering also. So you can go to any IITs, all the things, if you qualify the GAT entrance examination with a good score. And after that also there are other options also. So there are a lot of other competitive examinations, so you can clarify such type of examinations and move further. Okay, next please. So even I think Prashant already discussed about the CUCET, that is from Central University, that also you can opt. Okay, next. Okay, so now thing is that question is again coming. So if you finish your master degree, so then what are the next options available? So what is next? So you can join as a researcher in the sense you can join as a project assistant, you can join as a JRF, junior research fellow, even you can join as a technical assistant. Lot of different projects, because as a academician nowadays research is also mandatory. So you have to bring a lot of projects under the projects. Basically, a lot of financial budgets are there. So with that, basically, different researchers are recruited. So under that project, you can join as a beginning researcher. So where I did like that way. So next, if you qualify even MSc, so still this, I think in NEP 2021, again, it is revoked, right? Even if you qualify CSR net also, even in our university also, even a lot of other university also, those who have qualified CSR net entrance examination, they have also joined as an assistant professor. Even that you can work as assistant professor without having the net, your PhD degree. But coming years, I think coming couple of years, it will be mandatory for PhD is mandatory for joining as assistant professor. Even okay, so if you not qualify that CSR net or even a lot of competitive examination, there are windows for lot different industry. So in India, there are different industries are there, even in biological science or in biotechnology or in chemistry, even a lot of different industries are there. So you can, if you have a good CV on that, so you can apply different industry and you can, join as a beginners, and later on, there will be your promotion on that basis of in your performance. Okay, if you even not want to join in industry, so best method is nowadays government of Odisha as well as government of India providing a lot of money to be entrepreneur, and a lot of bio innovation centers are also established in Odisha as well as out across India, so that if you have any innovative ideas, then you can also generate money and you can be self-sufficient. So, so that means a PhD need to be followed even after MSc if he's or she is interested in doing research. So for that specifically, there are a lot of competitive entrance examinations are there. So that also I have mentioned. So different entrance examinations. So already people have discussed. That is, you have to qualify CSR UGC net examination. So basically, you can, if you have a JRF, so you can directly went for a lot of competitive good research institution. If you qualify GAT also. So similarly, this NCBS you can also, they are also doing a lot of entrance examination where you can join also a BET for biotechnology specifically, and even you can also go to JNU. And there are also so on lot of career options are there. So I limited to little extent, so that the it is not necessary that you need to do postdoc. So postdoc is also essential if you have you want to prosper your career for your future. So that it is always welcome if you have good postdoc experience from good laboratory, so that people will recognize, and lot of in competitive entrance board, you have your publication, all the things. So that is also essential. Okay, next please. As I am from basically biotechnology, so I have kept only one slides for biotechnology. So, under biotechnology, it is a combination of microbiology, your engineering subject, and molecular biology, and genetics, genetic engineering. So under that, you can choose any specialization subject. So where, you will be a master over that, and you can you can in future set your own laboratory. You can also hire students so that they will work after finishing your master, all the things. So this is all about little bit information about biotechnology. Okay, so with this, I think almost I have discussed a little bit about what are the different career options available in science. Can you please go to the next? So if in future, if you have any such questions, you can ask me, and you can write me. So with this, I would like to thank to the full Naao HRDSL team for making this event. So with this, I want to move further because we have very less time now. So next speaker is Dr. Hamad Kumar Das. So he is from JNV Kotak, passed in 2003. He is presently and recently also, he joined as assistant professor in the Department of Public Administration, Utkal University, Bhubaneswar. So prior to that also, he qualified Odisha Education Service and in Group A, and is also gazetted officer. So he will focus on interdisciplinary in higher educational sphere, in career scope, and basically in Indian prospects. So with this, I would like to request Dr. Hamad Kumar to the screen. Hand over to Hamad Kumar.
Okay, thank you, Sanjay Bhai. Thank you so much, and good late evening to everyone. And as I'll be talking about interdisciplinarity, and I think I'm clearly audible, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this interdisciplinarity, or the aspect of interdisciplinarity, comes from my transition from graduation to the post-graduation level. When I was a student of Ravenshaw University, having geology, physics, and mathematics as my subjects, I was quite intricately interested towards literature. And then when my cravings for literature not allowed me to go for literature in a form which traditionally my previous speakers spoke about, that going to arts or commerce is not always an option for a student of Navodaya Vidyalaya who studies intermediate in science. We received several kinds of backlashes from family, friends, and peer group. So in that respect, I couldn't study humanities or commerce in that sense, but I studied science. And then at a very later stage, maybe 10 years down the line, I thought, and I actually could utilize my science potential during my PhD degree, my doctoral degree. So interdisciplinarity actually helped me in some way qualifying examinations, devising my aspirations for life, and which would be quite useful for my juniors here who would be looking forward to us, so that we can guide them further, and we can consult with their ideas further for a propagation of interdisciplinary ambitions to be actualized in real sense. So can you please move to the first slide? Yes. So when we're talking about the streams, the discipline becomes a aspect. For example, in sciences, suppose we're talking about a combination like PCM, CPZ, or PCGL or PMGL, the specialization matters. And specifically for the students who are going to the graduation level, as I have pointed out in the next slide, maybe here also, that national curriculum framework devised by NCERT and other frameworks, and then the CBCSE course. This has been introduced in 2 phases by the government of Odisha. This choice-based credit semester examination system. There is a specific term called GE, generic elective. So if you are opting for an honors subject or a pass subject also, you can go for that generic elective, which gives you some credit, 2 credit point or 4 credit point, that you can use in your future, because some experiments are already on Delhi University also adopted it, that 4 years bachelor's degree to integrate with some international modules of education. This is the first point. So the students who are going to the graduation level, be careful about these generic elective courses and generic elective subjects. Choose them very carefully because they are going to be useful for you while you are aspiring a ambition in academia. And then when we are talking about the Higher Education Council of Odisha specifically, we have a higher education department and then a higher education council conceptualized within these 4 or 5 years. It's being headed by a scientist now, a principal scientist of Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Professor Ashok Das sir. So in this respect, my advice or a kind of a line of thought for my juniors would be, if you are in the graduation level or venturing into the master's level with a change of discipline, or you're thinking about that as because you are thinking of Odisha Public Service Commission examinations, or in that line thinking of UPSC also, you can go for a change of subject. That's not a problem, but you have to start writing something. Because maybe I was going through all the slides and then my next speaker has written something like publish, publish and publish. There is no hindrance on your part to start writing from the master's level, because this is a very prominent point, because in the master's 4th semester, you have a new thought called MA dissertation. So you can write or begin writing from that point of time in your academic life. And then the Ministry of Education has now thought of integrating some suggestions of National University of Educational Planning and Administration, while it stresses out that in a CBCSE framework, if you are a student of any non-prominent institutions of some non-prominent districts of a state, in your after completion of your 2nd semester, from the 3rd semester onwards, you can change your designated institution or change your college. That's an option. That's a kind of slide up option being given at the interim point of a graduation. So in that respect, master degree, does master degree matters? Yes. What I have observed through the stream of my whole life and the experience I have gathered till now in this period of life, that master's degree is the most prominent course apart from graduation, because graduation is the qualifying examination for most of the examinations or entrances or job giving profile to you, graduation. But still, as UPSC also writes that the questions would be of graduation honors level, but a master's degree of knowledge is actually required while writing papers of UPSC mains or OPSC mains, or in that sense, as the elimination process of UPSC is almost 98% and OPSC is almost 94%, while switching from the prelims to the mains, the writing, the master's degree of knowledge, and then the interdisciplinarity really matters while writing some descriptive answers of these entrance examinations. Some people talked about UGC NET JRF and CSIR NET JRF, but there are some transitional subjects in which you can qualify both UGC NET JRF and CSIR NET JRF. For example, if you're a student of botany, then you can appear in environmental sciences, life sciences, and some respect biotech also. If I'll be wrong, maybe my previous speaker can rectify me. You can show your interdisciplinarity in qualifying both NET JRF and CSIR NET JRF. Why this? Because NET JRF, UGC NET JRF is somewhat bit easier. Practically, it's a bit easier than the CSIR NET JRF. So interdisciplinarity in that respect matters. Apart from that, some scholastic studies and then a review report of Lavasna, where the training phase of UPSC occurs, they have given a report that the students choosing optionals. Previously, there were 2 optionals in the UPSC, now it's 1. But in the state administration, the Gopabandhu Academy of Administration also agrees with the report that students having 1 science subject and 1 subject from humanities opting for the examinations are getting more success, or their rate of success is higher than the students having similar trained up subject like science or arts combination. So in that respect, you can draw inspiration in line of inspiration that interdisciplinarity really matters and fetches you more marks in the mains examination of these so-called very great services of the state. Then as far as the linkages between Odisha Public Service Commission, Staff Selection Commission, and then Service Selection Board is concerned, for those colleges which are aided colleges, non-government aided colleges, recruitment is already happened twice, and then another opening is there. Then for the Staff Selection Commission, CGL examination of the national framework, and then some state level examinations, and then OPSC. Apart from the objective aspect, subjective components are also there, for which interdisciplinarity really matters. So if you are choosing something like a transition from 12th standard to graduation, or graduation to masters, change of stream or discipline or specialization, don't think back. It will actually give you a result. This is my personal experience, and experience sharing with a lot of other people who have shared their ideas. So can you switch me to the next slide, please? Yes. So I have talked about coupling here. Something is called Odisha Administrative Services Junior Branch, when the recruitment phase begins, post-training module for the qualifiers of Odisha Civil Services examination, or the State Civil Services examination conducted by OPSC. But what, in what respect it differs from OES Group A or OES 2 is that OES was previously a part of civil services in the 80s, and then the educational domain got disintegrated and we got a new framework called OES. So OES 2 is for the school level, and OES Group A is for those, there is a proposal by the government to have a written examination and then interview, but it again got scrapped. So for now, this would be, you will be selected for the interviews through a process of shortlisting through your career and your achievements, and then you'll have an interview by the State Public Service Commission for OES Group A. What OES Group A actually is, you'll be an assistant professor in the college level, apart from some administrative responsibilities later on. For example, you could be an administrative bursar of a university, you could be a controller of examination, you could, if you'll be also applying to be for a position of director, as a regional director of your educational wing, and then some other positions in the state secretariat involving the higher education department, school and mass education department, and other examination bodies as well. You could be a member of OPSC and UPSC also later on, if you are performing good, if you have a good CCR, and then there is a great index called the Performance Assessment Report PAR submission to the government through the HRDC framework. So the linkage between administration and academia is, you can jump over from administration to academia, agreed, but with OES Group A and OES 2 also, academia could be linked with administration at various portfolios as you grow up with your credentials in the services, as you experience or as you mature in your services. The next slide, please. Yes. So there are some myths involved till now. Some people say B.Ed degree definitely gives you a job. Some people say B.Ed, having a B.Ed or integrated B.Ed, M.Ed is a myth. But what I have observed is, if you're going for a B.Ed degree, and some people are doing it after graduation. So some people are comparing B.Ed with masters, master in arts or master in science. The things are different, actually different. This specifically caters to the school level of recruitment. But if you are going for a master's degree, it opens doors in a multifaceted option for you in the interdisciplinarity framework. For example, what next after B.Ed or what next after B.Ed integrated M.Ed is, you can appear the educational domain of recruitment process in RIEs, NCRT. You can act as a counselor also in some schools like Kendriya Vidyalayas, Navodaya Vidyalayas, and now recently formed OAVS and Ekalopya schools. They have venturing into the terrain of recruiting counselors, academic administrators, and recently Odisha State Open University, functional within the premises of the newly formed GM College turned into GM University, is also recruiting student counselors, program coordinators for the open-ended courses of OSOU, which are licensed from IGNOU. So in the IGNOU platform, OSOU platform, some other university frameworks, apart from the guest faculties and ad hoc faculties, faculty coordinators, teaching assistants are also there who can also venture into those domains after receiving BEd degree or BEd MAd integrated degrees. And then as far as NEP 2020 is concerned, it clearly states that MPhil is going to be obsolete. So MPhil was previously a bridging link between masters and PhD, because in the master's level, previously the annual system was there, and then the semester system, and then now we have this semester system having credit points, and then in the 4th semester we are writing a MA dissertation. So MPhil becoming obsolete has several tendencies to carry forward. For example, this year also, last week, we chose some MPhil candidates for our MPhil program of Department of Public Administration, and also we also run a Master in Journalism, Mass Communication department within the premises of Public Administration department. So what I am trying to point out is MPhil is not obsolete yet, but if MPhil is going to be obsolete by 2025 in a phased way, because NEP 2020 norms are not completely accepted by all the state governments of India. So MPhil being obsolete in another 2-3 years, this is also a time for you to go for MPhil course, because in the states, MPhil is of 1 year, and in the central universities, it is of 2 years. So MPhil dissertation writing or MA dissertation writing, in both the processes, you have to write a dissertation, but at that point of time, please try to collaborate with a professor or assistant professor or whoever it is, and try to publish 1 or 2 papers. It will be relevant for you as you will be venturing into the larger domains of academia in future. Then there is a new course. Some institutions of India, some innovative institutions of India are introducing, that is called MRes, Master in Research. This is a part of inherent part of the educational framework of United States of America and some European universities. So MRes courses, do they exist in India? Yes, they do exist. Some central universities, some specialized institutions like IISc and some IITs are also offering MRes courses. 2 or 3 IIMs have also introduced MRes courses. Please don't go to the next slide. No, please go back. Yes, thank you. So they do exist, but you have to search out and find linkages that, as far as your subject is concerned, with your subject, MRes course is available or not. You have to find it out. And then internships during your graduation summer vacations, master degree summer vacations do really count. Okay, so whenever you are getting an academic leave from your regular curriculum framework, go for internships in several organizations. The state government, the Skill Development Commission, quite pioneeringly led by Mr. Subrata Bagchi, and this OURIP framework, Odisha University Research Incentivization Innovation Program. This is also providing research project funding to the students of early students and early stage professionals. So apart from the interdisciplinary aspect of internships, the master's dissertation and PhD thesis and the linkage between them in an interdisciplinary perspective also matters, because as my previous speakers already pointed out, if you are quite compatible enough with writing as well as researching on, or you are thinking of researching on future in the academic domain, then financial constraint would not be a constraint now, because there are several fellowship modules apart from the government. Some different other agencies are also providing fellowships. So this is the last point of this slide. I want to talk about science policy and FPM. This is called Midas touch by me. Some science students who desire to remain in the entity or identity of science, and then also they want to go to the academia or other frameworks of research as far as humanities and public policy and then administration or nation building or social work is concerned. Some prominent institutions like my alma mater JNU also provides science policy as a course. So you can opt for science policy in JNU and some other institutions also. Some IITs also offer science policy. Apart from in the management aspect, this is a doctoral degree, and some institutions have already started a preliminary doctoral degree preparatory courses on fellow program in management. So IIMs, apart from IIMs, some IITs are also offering FPM programs. Now, there is a proposal by the central government or NIPA to the state government that in the management perspective, in the bachelor's degree and then master's degree, if you're only thinking about accounting and management, this fellow program in management also offers opportunity to the students from science background, arts background, and commerce background as well. So you can think of science policy as well as FPM if you want to remain within the premises of academia and also aspiring to be a professional in future. So this is the slide is all about. Then can you switch me to the next slide? Yes, this is all about my passion, my research. This is about renewable energy. So this quite relates to maybe I'm yet to finish with 3 minutes remaining given to me. I have already consumed 12 minutes, so 3 minutes I can justify on that. So I'm a researcher on renewable energy policy involving the renewable energy modules and systems and then shale. So being a Navodayan initially till 12th standard in science, I did my science bachelor's in Ravincha University in geology, physics, mathematics, and then I switched my stream to public administration. Why public administration? Because I appeared civil services on several stages of my life. So that was the intention behind. But what I observed later on is the science actually helps. In the general studies paper, in the interview process or in the intervening process of the initial phase called the prelims, the higher elimination rate, keeping aside the factor of higher elimination rate, most of the questions or basic questions are from science, which a science graduate can easily resolve. So then I had another master degree in journalism and mass communication. Then I did my MPhil. I got a MPhil by virtue of gift by the governor of the state because of my dual gold medals from the university being MA first class passed. So I got an MPhil degree in the effectiveness of Mahatma Gandhi Narega and the policy implications of it in coastal regions of Odisha. Then I joined United Nations. I worked in United Nations for some time. What United Nations taught me that interdisciplinarity actually helps and you can switch inter alia. In Odisha, that generally doesn't happen. Switching from arts to science, it really quite tricky in the situation of Odisha. So what I observed is, if you are venturing out for some courses in some central universities, or if you're thinking of going abroad with some scholarship opportunities by those institutions also, and then by some third party scholarship agencies, you have to write some best proposals. So start writing from the graduation level or the master's level, which you are thinking of. And then I did my MPhil from Utkal University in public administration. I also went for a job in the United Nations. I did another MPhil from JNU. And then for my PhD, the initial phase was in JNU. And then I switched to Stockholm University, Sweden. And then I traveled all across Europe and Africa to research on, and field work was the real gem of a research on my part, because it actually helped me stepping and putting on an effort where my interdisciplinarity mattered. And then where in academia, coming back to academia, I can really contribute to the minds of my students in this phase. My 32 students, newly admitted 32 students in the MA batch, 25 are from science background, from BTech, from triple ITs and IITs, and from Delhi University as well. So my final concluding point would be, my last minute, is that try to capture those bridges between the courses. Go for the internship, go for the student exchange programs. A lot of institutions and a lot of private agencies offer that. Go through the web pages of Government of India, the state government, different ministries and departments regularly, and also the Niti Aayog, so that several opportunities are always there for student exchange programs, from beginning from the extracurriculars till nascent level of opportunities, which may lead you to a greater institutions of eminence at the national level as well as of the international level. So try to fill these interstitial spaces between your courses with some precious things which may add some very unique identity to your CV, so that you'll stand out amongst lakhs of competitors. This is what my point is, and I'll be sharing my email ID to all of you so that you can ask me pointed questions, which I can reply every day after this point of time. This is for all my Navodaya juniors. So we'll be in touch electronically, and we're always active on the digital media. Thank you to all my organizers, IT cell, my Navodaya fraternity, and everyone. And I'm quite indebted to the Navodaya Vidyalaya fraternity for everything. Whatever I am today, it's all because of my school. So the greatest amount of gratitude gets a connect and gets a breeze to my school only. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Hamad Kumar, for such in-depth information towards our young generations. I hope definitely this will be, give them a booster dose somehow, just like that, and they will be go with a lot of interdisciplinary courses. They will try to fill up the gap, and this, and I think one thing we'll discuss later on regarding the internship. So with this, I would like to thank you once again, Hamad Kumar. So next, I would like to request Dr. Devbrat Sahu Bhai from JNV Sundargarh, 1994 pass out. So he's presently working as associate professor in the Water Resources Engineering, Clemson University, United States of America. So today, Devbrat Bhai will specially focus on international career in academics. So with this, I would like to again request Devbrat Bhai and hand over to Bhai, please.
Thank you, Sanjay. Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Respected principals, teachers, my dear students and friends. I'm very honored to be here in this platform. Thank you, Naao, for organizing this wonderful webinar. I think it's very important for us to what we have learned in our career and how we can make the life of other students, Navodaya particularly, and of course, in general, a lot easier because we are in certain point in our career where we can actually guide them in a judicious manner. Like a lot of speakers, and thank you, panelists, for all the ingredients that you have supplied. I'm the last speaker, and all the ingredients are there. I'm just going to go over my slides. It will be a lot easier for me to communicate what I want to show. So today I'm going to speak on a career in academia outside India. What do we need to do? What is the recipe? What are the ingredients? So those are the points I'm going to discuss today. Next slide, please. So basically, if you want a career so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to touch the two different processes to get an academic position outside of the country. As an example, I will highlight the US because I'm well versed with the conditions. But similar model can exist for other countries. Maybe you can say Australia, maybe Canada, Europe, but you can apply a similar framework. So there are generally two methods, two ways that you can adopt to get a position in academia in the US. Number one method is general method. It's a general path that people have taken, model. Basically, you do your bachelor's, okay? For example, 4 years of degrees. For simplicity, let me give an example of BTech or BE, bachelor's in engineering, bachelor's in technology, 4 years of education, okay? You do that, then you apply for your master's in the US, do your PhD, okay? Maybe you can do a postdoctoral experience. Maybe you can do, you may not want to do that depending on the discipline that you apply to. That is one method, okay, one way. Another way could be, you can do your BS or BTech BE, India. Then you can do your MTech, okay? MS, MSc, you can do that. Apply for PhD, okay, outside of India, okay. So you should have some form of education here, okay. So you have to be in the system, okay. That is another way, okay, which supplements the first method. The second method is you do everything, your bachelor's, master's, MSc, PhD, everything in India. All the education, you learn all the basic skills to do the research in India, but then apply for postdoctoral experience in the US, okay? So that you are advancing your research experience, okay? That is another way you can get into academia in the US. Next slide, please. Okay, let's focus on the first approach, okay? You have a bachelor's degree, you have, you have 4 years of education, okay? 4 years of education after your 12th grade, you have 4 years of education. What do we need to do? So you need to apply for your master's degree, okay? Now, the entire timeline is about 18 to 24 months. That's a significant amount of time, okay? And I am talking about, I came to this country about 20 years back, 21 years back. That time internet was, you probably, some of you might not have seen, we had dial. So you have to dial internet and it will start making a noise and all that noise, and you get connected to the internet. It was slow. So significant amount of research you have to do on internet. Okay, it is very important. And there are certain websites you can utilize, such as US News. What you need to do is, so initially when you are in your 4 years of degree, okay, the first 2 years we don't know what we are just learning the basic skills, math, science, communication, English, everything we are learning in those 2 years. And then try to learn what interests you as you get into the course. What interests you? Because there are several things, right? Within, I can give in, for example, in computer science, for example, somebody might be interested in coding, somebody might be interested into the engineering side of it. Maybe, let's say, for example, I can say in agriculture, for example, somebody interested in understanding the how we want to grow crops, the crop aspect. Somebody might be interested into the soil aspect. So try to investigate yourself. What interests you? Okay, what fascinates you? Because I personally believe that if you try to identify what you love, then the journey becomes a lot easier. Okay, try to identify yourself. Okay, now, so once you identify what interests you, okay, do the internet research. Okay, because your love for certain research should be complemented by another university outside, right? There should be some similar programs. So you should know what programs are there in different universities. So once you know that, then what you do is you have to draft a small brief email, not a lengthy email, just a brief email. Okay, a brief resume, not more than a page, okay, and in a statement of purpose. Not more than a page, okay? Those 3 things you have to work on. So maybe start working on in the 3rd year, okay? Once you know, okay, what interests you, you have done some work in the lab, in the field, you know what you want to do. So try to develop that. It takes some time, okay? And usually when you apply to other universities outside, the way we speak in our country is different than what others speak in other countries. So your English, your communications will be really good. Okay, and just proofread it. I would be happy to help you there. Just go around, take a moment. If you know a good English teacher, professor, proofread it. There are a lot of online tools available, and do some like Grammarly. Use those tools. Once you know that, once you have done that research, the next one is you got to have your passport, okay? Because you have to take GRE, Graduate Record Examination. TOEFL, test of English as a foreign language. There might be requirement, might not be. So check, see the department's requirements, university's requirements, requirements for your grade point. What's your percentage in our country? Okay, so check all these things and then write an email to that professor. Okay, now what happens is faculty, they're busy. They not only teach, especially if you are applying to R1 research institutes, okay, where probably you'll be applying, they're busy teaching, researching, writing proposals, papers, everything. Okay, so be patient. Navodaya teaches you to be patient, right? How to be patient. So be patient and wait for the response. Sometimes you can get immediate response, sometimes you might not. So wait for a couple of weeks and then email them back. Don't irritate them, but just a courtesy email, just saying that you want to follow up with them. Okay. The reason is sometimes let's say for example, I wrote a grant. I want a student immediately. Okay, and I see a resume coming in, so I'll immediately respond to that email if it fits. But sometimes I don't have grants. I have written some grants. I'm hoping I will get. So that's why you have to kind of wait for some time. Okay, and then you do your application. Once you get the response, even if you don't get the response, sometimes you can apply to the department. The department graduate coordinator probably will respond you. There are two ways. Either you will get funds, maybe you might not get funds to do your master's. Okay. And then the application process. So you have to apply, get your undergraduate and graduate transcripts, depending on whether you are applying for your master's or PhD. Letters of recommendation, very important, with whom you have worked. Let's say you are applying after your bachelor's. Let's say you have a professor who is well known. If you have worked with them, get letters of recommendation from them. Okay, from let's say you have done some internship, get it from there, get it from the lab. So they will be basically speaking about your skills, your ability to perform research, your endurance, your patience, your skill sets. So they are going to testify that. Okay, and then the normal application fee. Sometimes the application fee is waived. Next slide, please. Now, once you land up in the research institution, okay, let's say everything goes well, you get the visa, you get everything goes well, you come here. These are some of the recipes of success. You need to lead your research program. You need to show some leadership skill. You need to be creative. Read lots of papers. Let's say the professor gives you a problem. Read lots of paper. Then you get ideas to perform research. Okay, attend conferences. When you attend conferences, take your leadership role. Take say for example, chair some sessions, co-chair with some existing chairs. Okay, take some leadership role in these conferences. Although research is your baby, we as researchers, we love to work in team, because we, like Hamad said, we want to do collaborative research. We want to do multidisciplinary research, transdisciplinary research. Right now, that's where the research is going. Okay, because there's always a connection between different disciplines, right? So we love collaboration. At the same time, you collaborate, you do teamwork, you come back and do your own work that you will be known for. Okay, do publications. That is the way to have your name out, right? Involved in grants, mentor. If you want to mentor some undergraduates, mentor, work hard and work smart. So when I was in a master's, one of the professors, I was not able to crack a model. It was too difficult. I spent enough time. One of the things that my professor said, that no matter how hard you work, you need to work smart. So I think the present generation knows how to work smart. Basically, when I'm saying work smart, try to identify the right resources that can help you to further your research, okay? And try to be in limelight. It's very important. What you do to end up in an academic job outside, it's important to be in the limelight, because we are not only competing within ourselves, let's say, within Indians, but we are competing with in a global stage, right? We are competing with Americans, we are competing with Australians, American, Europeans, Africans, all the nations. And it's a very competitive field, okay? The key to success is to differentiate from other applicants. How do you differentiate yourself? So the recipe that I said is just a matrix to differentiate yourself. So when I was applying for masters, one thing I did that in masters, when you were in bachelors, nobody published work in bachelors. When I applied for masters, I published my work in bachelors when I was doing my bachelors. Did the project work, presented, and published that work. Okay, it was 20 years old, but that was my first publication. That way I differentiated from other applicants. Okay, next slide, please. The other way to get an academic position, I'm almost, I'll quickly go over this one. So try to be in the best universities because they have already some connections, okay? Even though you don't go to the best universities, that's okay. Don't get discouraged. Publish your ideas, publish the work that you have done. Stay engaged with conferences and with different research teams outside. It's very important to have their name. Do exceptionally well. Work hard. It's very important. Sometimes what happens if you do a lot of good work, if your name is out, you don't need to do a postdoctoral work outside. It's maybe somebody will see your work. They will invite you. Come and work in my lab. So people look for good students and good postdoctoral students. Okay. So once you do that, then you can apply for. Once you are here, you can apply for faculty positions. Even though I have seen some cases, if you do exceptionally well as a faculty back in India, if you do really well, you can apply to these universities. When there is a position, they will interview you if you are that candidate. And then as a faculty, you can apply for faculty positions. You can apply as a research scientist to different labs. So basically people join as assistant professor in tenure track. So tenure track is sort of evaluation. So after 4 years or 5 years, your peer, they will evaluate you as a what you have done in those 5 years in terms of research, in terms of teaching, extension, in terms of publications, grantmanship, everything you'll be evaluated. Research is the main key thing. Grantmanship is the key thing. You have to get grants from agencies. Okay. So once you're evaluated in those 5 years, that after that things are a little it calms down basically. Your tenure track. You can do whatever you can dream about. You can do whatever you want. Okay. Next slide, please. So a little bit about my journey. I was born in a rural area, then raised in Rourkela. Much of my adulthood was in Rourkela. I went to Kendriya Vidyalaya, then is for a short time. Everything is whatever I am here and whatever I have done is because of Navodaya Vidyalaya, because of the blessings of my parents, support from my siblings and my brother-in-law, and kudos and everything to the teachers of Navodaya. I can't think about a moment that has those teachers. They have influenced me a lot in terms of their attitude, in terms of everything. I just can't describe it. And all of my friends in Navodaya, and they have been very supportive. They don't pull you. You will have friends, those who pull you, but they have never pulled me down. So they're great people. Navodaya has given me all sorts of support. And a lot of failures I have seen, but Navodaya taught me not to quit and have a vision. vision for not only for yourself but for the society, and you dream, things will happen. So don't stop dreaming, okay? And learn from everything. Everything you are creating, all the data points. Learn from everything. Everything it teaches you. Just don't quit. Don't give up. Just keep working on. I joined academic. I ended up in academic job just last year, right in COVID. I did my PhD, finished my PhD in 2008. So it took me 12 years to get an academic position. So I worked for an industry for 12 years. My vision was to be in academics, but usually what people do, they get a postdoctoral experience and end up in academics. But I didn't want to take that path. I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to do, so I went to industry to get the real world experience, what goes in there. And I wanted to sell that way. That way, maybe it gave me more information. It took me longer to end up in an academic position, but I learned a lot. So don't give up your dream. Don't, if you have a philosophy, stick to the philosophy. Don't compromise ever. Okay. Next slide, please. And this is a little bit of thing that I do. I like to work for environment. I want to see a world pollution-free, particularly for water. This little kid that you see to the left, that is the state of the water right now. Animals, and we drink. We don't see what sort of things goes on in cleaning up the water. I'm a strong believer of that. How can we clean water naturally? So I use a lot of sensors. I work with computer scientists and several other folks to do a very multidisciplinary research. And my vision is to create a clean environment for every component of the ecosystem, including animals, plants, and humans. Thank you. And with that, the next slide, please. And thank you Naao for giving me this opportunity. Maybe I went a little over. I'm sorry. Need to stick to that. But
thank you, Debrat Bhai, for such visionary information. I hope our young generation might have gone through all and listen you very carefully, and hope they will also utilize your direction, your visionary idea, your this whatever you discuss, everything, and they utilize in the coming future life. So with this, I would like to thank you once again, Debrat Bhai, for such wonderful talk. So with this, now we'll move to question session. Okay, so we have few questions. So I think, Sabhanu Bhai, if there are some questions from YouTube channel, but I could not see any. Or if somebody interested to ask any question, they can also raise their hands. So we'll ask.
So, were there any question from YouTube?
No, there is no such questions from YouTube.
Okay. If anyone has any questions, they can ask. Please raise your hand or write your question. Okay, 1 second. There is a question from Prahlad. Can you unmute and ask the question?
Yeah, so how are you going through everyone? It's very good platform here, and I like having been in touch with Devarata, and he is my classmate, and I would like to know if you people are talking about the clean energy, because we have to save our environment. Okay, he's been working for this environment for last 12-15 years, I know personally. So if you can bring something for the clean energy, sustainable energy, any further, if anyone can give on any idea. Who can answer? Maybe Devarata can answer, I think.
Debrat Bhai, please unmute yourself.
think renewable energy is Hemant's area, and it's not my area. So I really cannot speak. I can, but it's his area. So we should give opportunity for him to speak.
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, the question marker, for this question, and thank you, Devbhai, for skipping it for me. Actually, I worked on renewable energy framework, and then you all will be glad to know that the renewable energy framework, what European Union pioneers on, based on the innovative aspect of the Nordic countries. So we have kind of institutionalized a innovative renewable energy framework for the newly formed capital city of Amravati. And then what I have presented to the Niti Aayog, and then during the 2018 session of Raisina Dialogue in front of the Prime Minister of India. So it's in principle being adopted. So what are the norms of it? We have a sustained urban mechanism, and in line with the provisioning of the vision of our late People's President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, as far as his ideas on Pura is concerned, provisioning of urban amenities in rural areas. So this has been completely used in two major cities of India. One is Kochi, and then another one is, it's going to be implemented in the full-fledged form in the newly formed capital city of Amravati. So this is one phase. And the second phase is while working with United Nations, in principle with United Nations Development Program in the MDG framework previously, I was a part of the team of Northeastern India, devising from some of the agencies of New Zealand were helping us in the process of installing solar wind hybrid mechanism installations in the states of Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. So the purpose was people lack basic amenities like warm water in the morning and evening, and then children lack some basic needs like electricity for at least 6 to 8 hours a day so that they can study, specifically during the evening hours. So the provisioning was, or the integrated module was, to provide them warm water, because anemic conditions and sub-temperature conditions were prevalent there. So apart from that, what the government of India is planning, and then I have a project presently continuing with OURIP framework, apart from the collaborations of Niti Aayog. If some of you are interested for that, maybe I have already shared the link and the details of the framework with JNV group, I think. Some of have already applied. So in the post-COVID scenario, how we are going to deal with the energy systems. And we basically switched directly from BS4 to BS6, but we have promised quite enthusiastically for the 2060, 2070 goals. And then further, maybe we'll be able to actually achieve it or not, I don't know that. But in the solar framework, we have achieved the targets in shorter increments till now. So we have a ambitious solar program as far as the international norms of International Solar Agency ISA is concerned. India is striding well in that respect. But what our state government is doing in that respect, if you're looking at Odisha, then in some districts and some coastal areas, we have till now identified some areas which are very much open, constantly being fed with direct sunlight, and then windy areas also, because coastal areas are also windy. So maybe there is a proposal through OURIP scheme of the government that we are trying to integrate some modules of solar wind hybrid mechanism there also, including my district, that's Kendrapada. So this is the action plan of the government of India and Odisha till now. And then students who want to do research on these aspects, maybe will be in touch. And as far as the Niti Aayog and the OURIP proposal is concerned, we need some junior fellows and some field investigators as well. So I'm being a researcher on this framework. I'm quite hopeful that we'll be able to achieve our goals. And then as there is a competition has already started, investments are already flowing in the green energy modules of vehicles. Some other avenues will be gradually covered in this aspect gradually. So hopefully our state will integrate with the national model, and then we can show a brighter picture to the international platform what we have promised for the next 2-3 decades at large. Thank you. This is my submission. Thank you.
Thank you. There is a question from Chitaranjan Rana. Chitaranjan, are you there? B.Ed in special education can apply for high school teacher in Odisha. Is it possible? Bhagirathi, are you there? Can you answer this? B.Ed in special education apply for high school teacher in Odisha. Okay. If Bhagirathi, are you there? Then you can answer.
Hello. Okay. Question repeat करिए please.
B.Ed in special education. Can they apply for high school teacher? Can they apply for high school teacher in Odisha?
हाँ संभव है विभिन्न जमी मुझे जानी भुवनेश्वर स्पेशल एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट अच्छी से जो मैंने कोचिंग नौकरी से विभिन्न हाई स्कूल रे विभिन्न स्पेशल एजुकेशन टीचर हिसाब से अपॉइंटमेंट दे जो आमर स्पेशल हियरिंग स्कूल गुड़ाक अच्छी संभव ये संभव
Any other questions? Okay.
We don't have more questions.
Okay. Sanjay, let's move on.
Yeah. So I think we are running beyond time. So I think next I would like to request our convener, Mr. Asavan Swai Bhai, for vote of thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, all. First of all, our special thanks to all principals of JNB of Odisha. They took our request, our invitation, and some of the JNs they joined, students joined, but there was some problem we guess because of that connectivity issues are there. So going forward, definitely we'll work with them. We'll talk to the principals, and later on we'll have greater sessions going forward. Thanks to all the principal, teachers, and students of JNVs, those who joined. Next, my special thanks to all the speakers. We had a great session today. Maybe we are delayed about 20-30 minutes, but we had a good session. Thanks to Bhagirathi, Prashant, Sarita, then Sanjay, Dr. Hemant, and last is Devabrata Bhai. So Devabrata Bhai had given a good talk on the international aspects. Thanks to Devabrata Bhai. And last, I wanted to thank
I think Asavan Bhai, we have some technical problem.
the arrangements. Yeah. Thanks to them. And finally, I thank Naao office for all the support and all the guidance and all the permissions. So we have done a good session today, and this recording will be there in the YouTube channel. We'll share with all the JNBs later on, and they can see this video. And this will be definitely a good takeaway for all the students. And we'll be doing this kind of sessions going forward again for different job domains. Thank you all.
I think thank you all. With this, our webinar is ended. So we'll leave now. Okay, thank you.